Good morning guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and actually today I'm feeling quite energetic, which is good because I'm continuing fixing some of the problems from the fire damage.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite road. Above the rest, you're the best I know.
So I'm just on my way down to the garage to pick up the UTV because it's going to be really useful for today's work, and you might be able to hear in the distance some chainsaws because on the other side of the mountain there's a group of guys who are currently clearing a road from any of the dead fallen trees that were burnt in the fire. One thing we have noticed since the fire is the sound travels a lot differently.
Heaven help the fool in here. 'Cause I don't know which way he's gonna go. A light is coming through the mirror. Trying to clear the darkness in my soul.
So the next thing that I really need to start on is getting the water reconnected for the house, because obviously in the fire all of the pipes melted, the water tanks melted. It's a big job, there's lots of elements involved, but the first objective is to clear the trail all the way up to where the water tanks are, so I can drive the UTV up there to take tools. I'm obviously need to take a water tank up there eventually once I get that ordered. So it's going to be a big process, but I got some new secateurs and I'm ready to get going. So I'm just going to put my gloves on because all of this stuff that I'm cutting is burnt. I don't want to get ash all over my hand, but you can see behind me, this is the first gate. So we lead up this track, which is quite steep, 4x4 track up to this gate that then leads all the way up to the forest. There's a lot of track that needs clearing, so I better get going. So my plan is to just cut all these as low as I possibly can, and then I'm going to have to dig out the roots eventually. That's going to be an even bigger job, but as long as I can drive my UTV up here, it's all that matters is getting access right now. So no one's obviously driven up this area for quite a while because there's a fairly decent sized pine tree just sitting here. So I'm going to cut this down to a stump and then I'll have to pull the root system out at some point, but as long as I can get past it for now, I just drive over the middle of it. It's all good. I got the trusty electric chainsaw. It's perfect for smaller stuff like this. I'm making really good progress. It's such labour intensive work, but it's worth it. Already I've cleared a good section of track. I mean, there's so much more to go, but it means that I should be able to get the UTV to this kind of like fork in the road. So there's one side that goes up steeper. We're not going to worry about that for now. And where it goes off to the right, that heads to where the water tanks are. So that's where I'm going to focus my efforts on. So I made it to the halfway point, and I'm pretty sure that that's the steepest part. Still pretty steep. You guys can't see on camera, but this track is ridiculously steep, and it gets even steeper the further we get up. But I feel so confident in this thing. It's just going up like a breeze, and because it's actually not a small little buggy, it's quite wide, it's big, it's like almost like a small car. It's got that stability. I wouldn't fancy going up here on a quad bike or something like that, but I'm gonna fire up the engine. Let's see if I can make it to the top. That was incredible. It's so good to kind of pinpoint where I want to get to today, and I've managed to make it. I'm at the fork in the road. I've still got kilometers of trail to clear, but this is a promising start. Squarespace is a platform designed to give you the opportunity to build and create your own website. You can start out by choosing one of the many different templates for the base of your website in a number of themes. Whether you want a space for your blog, somewhere to showcase your portfolio, or advertise your business, you can find the building blocks for your ideas right in the templates. Templates are customizable, but also come with ready setup pages, giving you the option to start from scratch or modify what's already there. Drag and drop features include a variety of options for the pages on your website. You can move them around to the position that suits, adjust the size and customize them. Image galleries, contact forms, text blocks, social media links and videos are just some of the many features to choose from. Squarespace makes it incredibly easy to even set up your own domain from their platform, giving you the professional web address without any hassle. We highly recommend Squarespace and are so happy that we're able to give you a 14-day free trial and 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain using code IndieProjects or clicking the link in our description. So the weather's took a little bit of a turn for the worst. Had to seek shelter for about 20 minutes because the rain was just coming down. But I really do love this atmospheric weather with the low clouds. I'm heading up to the mountain because I've got my tape measure and I need to start measuring up for the piping that I need to replace from the fire damage. Also, I need to work out what fitments I need to go in and out of the tank and do a few little other bits while I'm up there. So I'm currently standing where the pond used to be, just up here, and obviously since we had the flood it's all filled in with silt, and you can see the flood damage has caused these pipes to actually come apart and break. Also the pipes are burnt as well, so it's really been attacked up here, and you can see that the water's flowing down and it's just found a natural way to flow down. It's still kind of going into the area where I need it to go, but I'd like to get these pipes connected up so that we don't get any more erosion. So I'm just cleaning off the text on the sides of the pipe. I'm going to take a photo on my phone so when I go to the city I can pick up the perfect size piping and replace this. So there's more damage to these pipes than I first thought. You can see here there's a big hole where the fire's melted it completely. It's just unusable, so I'll buy new stuff. But what's a little bit annoying is this pipe that comes out from the pond, the holding pond, has been melted as well, so it's been disfigured. So maybe I can get a blowtorch and melt this back, because the rest of the pipe isn't in that bad condition. It would be a real pain if I have to rebuild this whole dam system essentially. So the situation I'm in right now, post flood, post fire, is very complicated, and to be honest I can't explain the situation to you. What I can explain to you is what I keep calling a pond, where I'm standing right now, is essentially a dam that feeds multiple different places on the property with water. But what I'm concerned about right now is getting the water connected to the house. So what I've been doing is trying to trace the piping all the way up. Obviously a lot of the piping is buried underground, so it's really difficult. I have a kind of understanding of where it's going from the house, but then the fire melted the pipes and I can no longer find it until just up here where it goes underground yet again. So I'm going to walk up to the tanks and work out the diameter of the piping, so at least I can get all the fittings and the pipings so I can start connecting it all back together. And what I think I'm going to do is go online and buy some dye that you can put in the water, so when I can run some water through the pipes I can see where it's going. So if the dye comes out in the house, it means it's all good. If it doesn't, it means we've got a leak somewhere else that I need to find. So to explain this situation in a really simple form, we have our mountain spring coming out the side of the mountain a lot higher up. That is then piped to these three holding tanks right here that I'm stood around. These holding tanks hold the water supply for the main house. That means when you turn a tap, you've always got water on demand. I need to work out how big these tanks are, because they would have been a certain size for a reason, and I think they used 3 different tanks because it would have been easier to get them into this position. We're really high up, we're quite a long distance from an actual trail that you can drive to, so you would have had to carry these tanks here. So I need to take that into consideration when I find the tank I need to buy next to replace these ones. So you can see here the fire damage, and they're all warped and burnt. This one is still holding a little bit of water to a certain point, but then there's a big hole that's been melted further up, so they're just going to be useless for most things, but I might be able to reuse them and take them back down the mountain for maybe the water for our goats and rainwater harvesting off of the goat shed and stuff like that. I'm trying to find out if there's any actual writing on here. Sometimes they emboss the size of the tank. To me it looks probably about a 2,000 litre tank, and there's 3 tanks, so 6,000 litres. I could probably replace these with one 5,000 litre tank. I imagine getting a 5,000 litre tank up here is doable with probably about 5 or 6 people to help me carry it. It'll make the plumbing a lot more simple if it was one tank as well, because I don't have to plumb 3 different tanks into each other and have them all fill up together. I've literally just got the inlet, the outlet, and that's about it, an overflow. There we go, 2,000 litres right here. So that is a good find. I'm absolutely knackered. as you can probably tell by my eyes and my demeanour, today's a really hard day. I'm fighting through the tiredness because I'm making good progress. I've been here every single day just slugging it out, trying to make progress, and I really am. Today I've figured out the water system, the pipes that I need to buy, the tanks that I need to buy, so that I can get this water reconnected into the house, which will make a huge difference. And next week I've got some people coming to help me to continue clearing the trails into the forest so I can actually get the new tank when it arrives into position.
Heavy is the weight of time.
So I've just arrived in Castelo Branco at the place where I bought my last water tank, and this water tank here is 5,000 litres. This is a tank I had in my mind so that I didn't have to have 3 separate tanks. They've obviously used 3 separate tanks for a reason, because this 5,000 litre tank is absolutely massive, and I'm not sure whether I could get this up the trail in the UTV. Behind me though, you've got a 2,000 litre tank, and this is exactly the same basically as the tanks that are already there. So you can see the scale of me for this tank. I could get 3 of these tanks no problem in the UTV at separate times obviously, and take them up to the area where we need it. So I can't buy them today because the person's not there I need to purchase them from, so it gives me a little bit more time to actually think about the route I want to go. So annoyingly I can't get the piping today either that I need to run from the spring to the tanks, because I need about 100 meters of 50mm pipe. It doesn't fit in a car and it's way too big to fit on the roof rack. So in the end, a super successful trip to Castelo because I got the massive piping that I needed to get. I've come to a warehouse that I've never been before with loads of different building supplies, so it's always good to find a new place. And here I've got the 45-degree angle as well, so tomorrow I'm ready to start fixing the dam area on the new property. So I'm just about to make the trek up the mountain. It's very steep. I'm heading to the dam area so I can try and clean out the area where I need to fix the piping. I'm gonna have to wear these pipes to try and get up there. I might have to stop quite a few times along the way. I really can't wait until I've cleared the whole trail up here, because I'll be able to just jump in the UTV and drive everything up, because at the moment this is hard work. I made it. It's time to get to work and replace this pipe. So the first thing I'm trying to do is clear out this dam area. It's proving a little bit more difficult than I thought because since we had the flood, it's just filled with stuff that's washed down the mountain. So you got reeds, stones, branches, mud, little pebbles. It's really hard to dig because it's all so compact, but bit by bit I'm getting there. And then I need to get right inside the pipe and start cleaning that out, so that's going to be a messy job. Oh. Rolling into my boots. You know that wet feeling you get and you just know you've messed up. There's so many roots holding this mud together. Quite difficult to get out, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. Bee's gonna love it tonight when I arrive home. Smelling like a swamp. Smells pretty bad right now, but once I move all this, we get the water flowing again, should all be good. The drain pipe's huge. I reckon that drain pipe's big enough for me to actually crawl through it. Like a Mario situation. End up on just a completely different part of the property. The bit just smacked me in the face. I'm on the last leg and basically there's a concrete floor on the bottom, so I'm digging all of the mud out. All of the debris has to go to the concrete floor because while I'm here and there's no pipe restricting access, I might as well just dig it out so I don't have to do it again. And what I might even do is put a metal grate over the top of here, so if this happens again, everything falls on top of that and it's easily cleaned. So the next thing I need to do is find out where the other side of the pipe is and dig a channel so the water feeds into that pipe. I'm not sure how long the pipe is, so this could be interesting. Hopefully I don't damage the pipe digging down, but we'll soon find out. I must have found the other end, shooting out, slowing down a bit. It must be really clogged. Come on! So I'm going to have to call that a day. I've dug my heart out and I've achieved a lot over the last couple of days, but there's no way I can go any further by hand. It's just ridiculous. This is a massive pond, a massive dam, and there's no way I'm going to do it on my own. Even with a team of 10 people, this stuff is so hard and heavy to dig out, and then you've got the water that you're competing against. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home and I'm going to do some research on how much it would cost to buy a digger versus renting one. Renting stuff in Portugal is quite difficult. We're also up the side of a mountain, so just getting here will probably take a day. I've got plenty of other jobs to do around the property, so maybe it is worthwhile just buying a digger for this place and being able to do all of the work myself when I need to do it. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.